One of the most stressful areas in sales is with vehicles. Steve Corwood from Motor Connect joined me today to talk about these good and bad habits for sales in automotives. So, Stephen, how are you an expert in car automotives?
I suppose by default, been in it for about 20 years, so I don't know anything different. Left school, grew up around it. My dad was a trader as well, so I don't really know any different. So I've been in the industry for 20 years, since I left school, from valet, body shop, sales management, and then obviously the last 8 years or so have been working for myself.
So safe to say you're an expert. Safe to say you know your stuff.
I've done a bit, yeah. There's a lot of people out there that have been in it for a long time. You've got to listen and watch what them people are doing. So
it's continuous learning, isn't that something we're really big on? And where businesses, if they stay still, you're going to say the same, especially in this situation. You're constantly thinking of growth, how we can improve, what can we do better.
Yeah, I think that's the biggest thing that we've found ourselves in the automotive industry, or the space that we're in at the minute. Obviously, there's a lot of change. Digitalization is one of the biggest things. And
so would you say that's your first bad habit then? Not willing to change, not adapting. That's a big no-no.
Yeah, I think that's a massive no-no. There's dealers that have been in this, in the industry for a long period of time, and they're great at doing the job. I think one of the biggest things that they don't realise is what's actually happening around them.
Yeah.
Let's get back to normal. 12th of April, we open the doors again, and everything goes back to normal. I think it's only a matter of time for survival. With that sort of approach, you've got to go out, you've got to find your customers, you've got to give the information.
Survival of the fittest, isn't it?
Yeah, you've got to make sure you're giving the right information and being transparent as well with your customers, making sure people are understanding your brand, which is something that we've worked really hard on. We work on it daily. We make changes daily. Never known so much research and development from a car industry perspective that we actually do. I suppose we got told, we're more tech, sales, marketing based, as opposed to a bricks and mortar car dealer, which is refreshing because that's the way that we wanted to go. But that's the analysis of some experts that have looked at what we're doing and said that's exactly where you're going. So I think that's just that, with transparency at the same time for the consumer is one of the biggest things that anything in the automotive space is. People don't like about it.
Yeah, definitely. And I think that's a really good point you're saying there. Your second bad habit is simply not knowing your brand. Like, it's as simple as that. If you don't know your brand, who's going to know your brand?
Yeah. Brand's a massive thing, and we've worked and we've tried loads of different things, some mad things, some quirky things, whatever it may be, to try and get attention to what we're doing. And I think it's took us a while to actually understand. We've always understood the product and what we want to do, but how we deliver it in today's world is a totally different way of what's going on sometimes upstairs. So I think the brand is a massive part in getting people to understand what you do.
So final bad habit, Stephen, what would you not recommend?
I would say one of the bad habits that can sometimes happen around dealerships or from a consumer's point of view is people feeling that they're forced into making decisions.
Yeah.
And I think some dealerships, however big or small they may be, can put that sort of feel upon it. And I know we touched on it before we went live about how people actually feel about when they're buying a vehicle.
Yeah, it's a subconscious pressure, isn't it? Like, even as a woman, whatever your background, you might be single, that pressure you feel going in, it's very much there.
Yeah, the anxiety level definitely heightens, and it doesn't become an enjoyable experience for people. So I think again that's something that as a dealer, as a car dealer, that we need to try and sort of break them barriers down and help where we can. And I think that is a bad habit across the industry. We're all chasing numbers. It's a highly paced, competitive space that we're in, and selling motors pays the bills, but there's also a level of trying to understand your customer. And I think, sometimes we have to slow it down and granulate it a little bit and understand people more.
Would you say that's a good habit then, like understanding your customer, sometimes just taking it back a notch and just getting to know them and what their needs are?
For us it is. I don't think people understand sometimes the depth of information that some of us car dealers go into. People think we just buy a car, clean it up, take some pictures and send it live. There's a lot more to it. We've had someone looking at psychographic type behaviour, reasons for change, why they don't feel comfortable doing it, all these things that go on behind the scenes, and we're doing that daily. Logistics, how quick we can get stuff to site, how we can present it, how we can video it, how we can write our adverts so we're giving the right information. So I think that's one of the biggest things that, is people understanding from a car dealership's point of view, but ultimately it lands with the car dealer, or the company that's selling cars or vans or whatever it may be, to make sure that they're getting that information across.
And it's investing in your tech. Would you say that's a second good habit, investing in your tech?
Tech, yeah, tech's a must. Now, I think, we've traditionally, as car dealers, we've always bought things and we sort of stick them up for sale. I remember when it was Auto Trader, I used to write the adverts, they'd come out, take the pictures, and they'd go in a magazine. Tech now is paramount to understanding data and everything about it. So, what you're selling, how quick you sell it, where the issues are, whether there's a pre-prep issue, they're all relevant to what you're giving to the customer, because you're understanding the product, better, you understand your customer better. And the only way to do it is investing into tech or working with other tech software type companies that are going to help you do that, which is part of what we've done through the last 12 months massively. So
finally, last good habit, what do you recommend?
Okay, yeah, so my final good habit will be really just from an automotive perspective, making sure the click and collect, click and deliver, and that online transparency. We've touched on it throughout, but I think that's a massive emphasis that for both automotive dealer and consumer, that they feel comfortable when they're actually in that online environment, because I think that's just going to continue to grow regardless of coming back after the pandemic.
Absolutely, because it's that option. You've got the online version rather than physically coming in, because like I said, the situation, we don't know unfortunately how long it's going to go on for, but that option's there. Trading can still continue when you've invested in that. I
think it's sometimes you can be very corporated. Sometimes when you look, we're looking to do something, whether that's a video or whatever it may be, and like, how corporated is it? I'm like, we'll make it more raw, because there's no feel to it. So I think even though we're in that sort of online click collect, click deliver type mentality, we still need to sort of give some type of natural ability of what, or natural persona to it, to retain an identity of who we are.
It's that small business mentality, isn't it? Though it's a mass nationwide business, it's that small, like that one-to-one service is still continued online.
Yeah, and I think that works. We've got cars going out Lincoln, London, and everything today when I left earlier, and people feeling comfortable and going straight onto FaceTime, and having that contact as in face to face is a massive benefit, and it puts people at ease. So I think it's. Overall, it's just about making people more comfortable and just making sure tech.
And your
online.
Company certainly does that.
Yeah, we're getting there. We're moving forward. We're growing. We're in a good position, and I'm excited for this year. So,
Stephen, where can people find you then if people want to get in touch? Actually, I need a new car. Where can we go?
Well, you can find the company. So, Motor Connect, obviously, motorconnect.co.uk. Myself, I'm on pretty much every social channel anyway. So, LinkedIn, obviously, I'm active on there. Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, wherever it may be. And yeah, like I say, just if you're looking for a car, looking for information, it's easier to just hit the website. New website should be live soon, which will be good. www.motorconnect.co.uk.
Thanks to Stephen for joining me and talking to me about his good tips for automotive sales.